Today we will be making this beautiful organdy blouse. Sew with me. We will begin by drafting the shoulder princess dart. The video for this drafting method is already tagged. For the built-up neckline, measure 1.5 inches up and 3 inches wide. Go in by 0.5 inch and create a curved line that blends into the shoulder. At the back neckline, come down by 0.5 inch and draw a slight curve. For the front neckline, measure 8.5 inches down and connect with a smooth curve as shown. At the mid-armhole, extend the princess dart line by 1 inch and create a new armhole curve. Next, draw a slanted line from the dart line down to the half length, adding a slight curve at the back. Go up by 5 inches at the side and connect with a straight line on both the front and back blocks. Now cut out the pattern pieces. Then here is our pattern set. When transferring to fabric, add 3 inches to the sides for seam allowance and 0.5 inch around all other areas. The center front and center back are placed on fold, so ensure the 0.5 inch allowance goes around the rest of the pattern. Place the side fronts on the center front and align the armhole curves properly to get the armhole measurements of 13 inches. For the sleeve, fold your fabric vertically and horizontally with a length of 30 inches and width of 14 inches. Come down by 5 inches for the armhole curve. Go up by 7 inches at the hem to create a notch, then cut out. The wristband measures 10 inches wide and 4 inches high. I cut a 360-degree flare for the sleeve. We will use it folded into 180 degree because the other half will serve as the lining. The radius for this flare is 4 inches and the length of the flare is 6 inches. I also shaped the flare by going down 1 inch from the top and curving it for a softer effect. Separate the flare into two 180-degree pieces and use them as patterns to cut the other sleeve. For the belt, cut 4 pieces measuring 36 inches lengthwise and 6 inches widthwise. I also cut facings for the front and back neckline. For the sewing process, let's start with the belt. Place it on fold, sew the short ends by 0.5 inch and then the long sides as well. Trim excess fabric and turn inside out. For the flare sleeve, sew all around using 0.5 inch, trim excess and repeat for the wristband. This is the back bodice. One side back and the belt have already been attached. Pin and attach the other side back, making sure the belt is positioned evenly. Sew by 0.5 inch from the hem to the armhole. Trim excess. The back piece is ready. Repeat the same steps for the front bodice. I joined my front facing together so I could get a complete neckline piece. Pin the V-shaped lines at the top and bottom. Using hemming gum, sew the V lines at the bottom of the blouse and at the neckline. Create a small notch at both ends and turn it out neatly. This is the back facing. The neckline and the hem have already been overlocked. Sew the neckline using hemming gum, notch and turn. Here is the sleeve. Locate the 7-inch notch, draw a line across, run a loose stitch and pull to create gathers. Flatten out the gathers as shown. Place the wristband, see the seam of the wristband centered and align it with the area of the sleeve. Sew the top and bottom of the wristband to secure it. For the built-up neckline, one side has been sewn. Place right sides together of the other side. Align both sides carefully and sew by 0.5 inch. Make sure the seams match. Then when you are done, trim and turn to the right side. To attach the flare sleeve, fold the flare sleeve in half and notch the center. Place the notch at the shoulder line and sew from the center down to one end, then the opposite side as well. Now attach the main sleeve. Start from one end of the armhole and stop 5 inches before the center. Return to the other end and sew towards the middle. This helps keep the sleeve centered. Gather any remaining fabric in the middle to fit it smoothly. We are to fold the sleeve to sew the side by 0.5 inch, but first we are to fold the hem of the sleeve by 0.25 inches twice. Ensure to overlock all raw edges of the blouse. Fold the hem of the blouse by 0.5 inch. This is the front being sewn. Finally, the side of the blouse is being sewn from the sleeve hem to the hem of the blouse. I added shell buttons at the center front for decorative effects. The video on how to make shell buttons is tagged. Here is the final look, a beautiful organdy blouse with poet sleeves. If this tutorial was helpful, please drop a comment, like, share and subscribe. Don't forget to turn on your notification bell for more videos. Bye.